It's the... Oh, why did I turn the music off? What the fuck am I doing? No, that's the wrong one. There we go. This show's starting off great. Oh, damn it. What's up, you motherfuckers? That's right. Welcome, my friends, to the Dumpster Fire. We have a huge show for you tonight, and let's not waste any goddamn time. Tree, say hi to everyone.
Hey!
What's up, man? And do we have Perna here? Brandon Perna comes in all late. What's up, buddy?
Can you believe this Josh McDaniels bullshit piece
I know,
of shit?
I'm laughing my ass off at it. I'm blaming Jim Irsay more than anything, because he would probably find a way to fuck that up.
He's derailing my whole fucking show. Like, I had a whole outline, and now this fucking McDaniels thing is going to dominate our conversation. We're not even into it yet. And then we have a very special guest here. One of those, he has a blue check mark next to his name on Twitter. That's Terry Wayne Carpenter Jr., everyone. Say hi.
Hello, everybody. Also, I have been teaching impressionable young minds for the last hour, so I have no fucking idea what you're talking about with Josh McDaniels. What happened?
Oh, dude.
He declined the Colts job after he accepted it.
Yeah.
So he took it, they tweeted it out like this is official, and then now he's not fucking going to Indianapolis?
Yeah.
It sounds like something out of the McCaskey playbook, because remember, this happened with, I forget his name, Dave McGinnis? Like, back in 1999, like, they announced that he would be hired, and then he didn't actually finalize the paperwork, and he backed out. That could be one of those situations.
Yeah, and apparently all of the assistants McDaniels was bringing with him to Indianapolis have already signed their contracts with Indy, so they can't leave.
Oh, my God.
Jesus.
Oh, that's awful.
Jesus.
Do you think he just went into Jim Irsay's office and then saw him just like shoveling codeine pills into his mouth, and then it was like, all right, I'm out. I can't deal with this.
I would think he would have a little more appreciation for painkillers than that, but what do I know?
He probably heard him play guitar, and he's like, fuck this. Probably one of those situations.
All right. I want to sort of continue the monologue, the 2 minutes of it. Before we get in the meat of the show, yes, even though this freaking derailment happened, Philly, this is your moment. Big Dick Nick pulled a Jeff Hostetler, and you can now sport your Eagles gear that has been gathering dust in the bottom of your closet while you burn down your own fucking neighborhood. You earned this one, so talk all the shit you want. God damn it.
That's awful.
And before I turn it over to the guys, we're going to do the super chats a little different this time. We're going to break halfway through and read them, so about 25 to 30 minutes in, we'll read all the super chats. And also, please consider sponsoring the stream. When you'll get your own icon, you'll get access to my sponsors only Discord, and you will get your name read before each show, like my newest sponsors will be The Basis and Luke Kelly. All right, let's get into this shit. Hold on, now I got to turn my face on to this. You guys like the music? Oh, you can't hear it, can you? I don't know if you can hear the music. I'm kind of digging it, though. Oh, look! Here's my face. Can you see me now? Can you see my ugly face? Oh, wow. Yeah,
oh, there you are.
That is one ugly mug right there. Why do I do this? Why do I turn on the face cam? Hold on. Oh, that's not it. Sound engineer, there we go. All right. So, guys, let's talk about this goddamn Super Bowl before we talk about Josh McDaniels. What happened to Malcolm Butler? Why did he not play? This actually happened about an hour before this Josh McDaniels shit. Butler issued a statement here on Twitter. Let me see. I retweeted it. And I'm not on my tweets. There we go. He basically said he wasn't up to nothing. He wasn't out causing trouble and talking shit. And he said he didn't miss curfew or participated in any of the ridiculous activities being reported. He kind of uses bad grammar there. He says they are not only false but hurtful to me, and what is they? What are you referring to, Malcolm? But yeah, why didn't he play? Do you guys have any clue for why their best defender?
That is something we'll never know.
It's probably the answer. Sorry. The answer is probably somewhere in the middle. That's where I feel about it, at least. I feel like something like Belichick hasn't really said anything. Belichick's always been a quiet guy, and he's always been about like holding a culture of accountability and standard. And this doesn't seem like it's out of line in any way with how he would do things, regardless of how it's the Super Bowl. So, I mean, I'll give him credit for sticking to his guns, but I don't know if this was the right time to do it. Was he actually doing, you know, the rumored stuff? Maybe. Did he not? Maybe. But it seems like it's something out of the Belichick playbook.
Do you think like he banged like Bill Belichick's girlfriend? Like what awful sin did he commit that lands him on the bench in the biggest game of the season?
I don't know. Makes it even more strange when you really could have used him playing corner while you got fucking torched by the Eagles all night.
Yeah, what was the rookie or what was the kid's name that was getting tore up by Alshon Jeffrey?
Eric Rowe.
Yeah.
It was another guy. I think it was like Johnson. I forget his name. That's probably a good thing because he played horrible. They like bitched at reporters for trying to ask him questions.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
my speculation. Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure he just smoked a lot of pot and then didn't give a fuck right before the Super Bowl. And Belichick was like, all right, well, fuck you. Like you always do. You screw this shit up. And then he went out there and he just didn't he just refused to put him in the game. I'm pretty sure that all of those reports are 100% true. Just because he denies them doesn't mean that they're not true. It just means that he denies them.
Yeah,
that's how most people do it. They usually like lie and say like it's not true, and then they'll come out months later. It's like, yeah, that was true. I'm sorry. Really,
I think that kind of like just like babysitting players like that is bullshit, anyways. But it doesn't surprise me at all that Belichick's going to stick his foot in and dig in on something like that, and then just make a big deal out of it. Because that's what Belichick does. You either do it his way or you get cut. I mean, he had a guy run for almost 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then cut him 2 weeks later because he was late to practice. That like Belichick doesn't give a fuck how productive you are.
That's true, and yet he had a murderer on his roster that could mask it long enough to get to the. He played in the Super Bowl. Aaron Hernandez, he got a touchdown, but Malcolm Butler, I guess, got a little too high and wasn't allowed to get out on the field because he was smoking a joint.
Yeah, but
show up on time.
But in fairness, yeah, Hernandez did the killings in his own time, and Belichick does
not on Bill Belichick's time.
Right. And he also did it afterwards, right? Or was he like Frank? He plays football, then he murders people.
Yes, that's right. That's right. He did technically. I mean, he did murder like 2 people in Florida or something before. I think he had some shooting, right? So, I don't know.
Football always came first, though. He has his priorities in order.
Yeah, I mean,
he never put murdering ahead of the game.
Yes, yes. He was like, man, I gotta live my dream, though, man. This side gig of murdering is just—it's too good, man. I don't know. All right. How ballsy was Doug Peterson? Like,
that was not Andy Reid. I was expecting more of an Andy Reid clone instead of like, 4th and 1, let's go for the.
That was a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I know. If it wasn't for 2 terrible teams that I just absolutely hate putting on a wonderful show, it would have been like the best Super Bowl ever. If it was like if it was like Cleveland versus Detroit in the Super Bowl, everyone would be like, oh my God, greatest Super Bowl ever. And now we're just like, damn you. Why couldn't it just
they're definitely going to have to build some sort of monument to Doug Peterson in Philadelphia. And I'm guessing it's just going to be a giant metal nutsack, right?
Right. It's just his face behind his nuts.
Right, yeah. It's got its hands up in the air.
It's just like, look at these huge balls. Just look at them. Oh, shit. I think we went offline for a second.
Personally, what it really should be is Tom Brady, like, dropping that pass. That's what it really should be.
That should be a statue outside of Lincoln Financial is Tom Brady with his. Hold on, who has seen that Tom Brady dropping the Super Bowl
picture? The image.
Yes, it's great
with his face.
I wouldn't mind a statue of Gene Steratore just fucking Tom Brady from behind, just for my own personal collection.
Oh, that sounds tasty right there.
Index card. Let's get it right.
Yes, that's right. Here's the real
card
picture.
hits the ground. You award the team a first down.
Mm-hmm. Don't drop the soap. All right. Speaking of Tom Brady, does missing that catch taint his legacy?
I wish it did.
It's not. I felt like it was slightly overthrown. I felt like Brady should have caught it, but I mean, can't really tell if he could have caught it or not. It sounded like it would have been something out of the T.O. or Moss playbook if he could have caught it. We would have been like, holy fuck, how'd he catch that?
Here, let's look at it.
He didn't work on his pliability enough leading up to that catch, and you could just see it in his game. He wasn't pliable enough.
You know what I noticed on him? He was really slow getting out there. He looked like he was in slow motion as he was trying to catch that ball. Here it is, right here. You guys
he thought he was about to be a hero.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I've got nothing but green in front of me, too. He did have wide open. He was going to at least get 10 more yards on that pass. That was ridiculous. He was wide open.
Every time I think Tom Brady's going to get 10 more yards, he moves 5, and then some super fast defensive back comes right in a split second and stops him. He is the slowest person I've ever seen move on camera.
Ben Roethlisberger, sometimes he's slower.
You don't think Eli Manning is slower than Tom Brady? Eli Manning once joked that he got called for delay of game during the play that he was
The slowest quarterback I've ever watched was Kyle Orton.
Oh, that is true. Kyle Orton is the definition of just a big oaf that is just became a QB. All right. What else did I have? All right. The Zach Ertz TD. Was that a catch?
What's that?
Zach Ertz.
What'd you say?
The Zach Ertz TD. Was that a catch?
Oh, that definitely was.
Yeah, the Ertz one for sure.
If it's the rules of the NFL, that's questionable. And we're dealing with rules of practicality, it is a catch.
Yins are biased.
The problem is, if it's by the NFL... Oh, shut the fuck up. I'm not a salty motherfucker. But I'm saying is, if you're going to do it like that, like the Jesse James ruling, at least be consistent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's... I think a lot of people are ripping on Collinsworth because he thought they both should be overturned. But based on everything else we saw this season, I thought both of those... I thought there was at least an 80% chance both of those touchdowns were going to be reversed. But when I look at them, I think they're both definitely catches. The Ertz one, I mean, it looked like he had enough time to become a runner.
He actually takes 2 little chop steps before he dives. He clearly, it's his intent to dive for the end zone. Now, what's the difference between that and Dez Bryant doing the same thing? I don't know. But
what's the difference between that and Jesse James? Jesse James did a football move technically. Calvin Johnson did a football move technically. Dez Bryant did a football move technically.
Calvin Johnson did the windmill. He did the worm, and then he popped and locked, and then he dropped the ball, and they were like, no touchdown.
And what's the difference? What's the difference between that and Tom Brady? He just didn't catch it.
You know what? After official review, they were going to give Tom Brady the catch, but they were like, oh, man, it's too soon.
They're like, there's no way we can rule this a catch, Tom.
So, actually, the NFL did say that they are going to revise the catch rule.
Yeah, they have to.
They have to. I mean, by the rules of the NFL, nobody knows what a catch is anymore. Now we're just sitting there it's a joke. What the fuck is a catch? Because seriously, what the fuck is a catch?
Yeah.
Because it changes every week.
It is remarkable that Chris Collinsworth, who is an NFL receiver for like 15 years and has been a broadcaster for 30, doesn't know what a catch is because it's so goddamn confusing.
Well, that was like the biggest tweet or favorite is when anyone said, "What the fuck is a catch?" Like that just blew up the internet, like on Twitter that night. I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like nobody knows. I think what they do to redefine it is they say if you get 2 feet down, that's considered like a football move or something to that effect of like they might have like an angle of like what is going to the ground. Like if you're planking like parallel to the ground, you're not catching it.
If you are planking, you are not catching anything.
Right, but if you're at this angle, like a 15-degree angle, that's like more upright than going down. Like I guess they'll have a level out there.
You got to treat the sideline a little bit differently, and if a player's able to make an athletic move to extend the ball over the goal line, he obviously has possession of it. So I think those are some of the things they're going to have to look at.
Yeah. What if he extends his penis over the goal line? Should that count as a catch? Like if he's able to
it depends. That's kind of biased though, isn't it? Because like like if you see Santonio Holmes' wang in comparison to maybe, I don't know, Phillip Rivers' wang, that's a little different in size. That might be an unfair advantage.
You're speculating there right now. Like, what's the Korean kicker's name? Like maybe him. Right?
Young Ho-koo.
Yes.
Young Ho-koo would just miss it wide left anyway.
That's right. He would just run out of bounds to the left.
I doubt he'd be catching many passes.
Yes, we've devolved into talking about an Asian man's penis on this show.
Right.
That's how we're going. Well, anytime you reference mine, that's how it works. So yeah, I mean, any more thoughts on how they redefine the catch rule?
I would say if you want
I made a whole bit.
Oh, God, man.
No, I am so sorry. I just keep stepping on your lines.
Nah, dude, I'm just rambling. Don't worry about me, man. Like, literally, I can just ramble off to the clouds, and I'll be like, eh.
I was just going to plug my video that I already made about the catch rule, so it's even more shitty that we wasted everybody's time.
Why don't you put that link in the chat right now so everyone goes and watches that instead of...
Oh, now that is a good idea.
There you go.
There you go.
Now you're thinking with your noggin, Mr. 5
That's
points.
right. Now you're thinking with your... And remember to use my code SCORE5 on FanDuel.
There you go.
It's good. Right, we spell it SELLOUT... FIVE.
Hey. You're not lying when you get the paychecks. That's all I got to remember.
That's all I got to remember.
You led me to this fate.
That's right.
And I thank you for it.
That's right. When I'm counting all that money in the bus station from all the hand jobs I had to give out.
Yeah. Hey, my ass is sore and I may have gotten an STD, but you know what? The money was worth it.
I don't know if I've gotten. I've probably given. All right. What was the best commercial for you guys in the Super Bowl?
Give it to us, TJ.
I don't know. I would say the Anthony Hopkins, what is that, Alexa voice? Because nobody can pull off creepy as fuck like Sir Anthony Hopkins feeding a peacock in his backyard while he sips orange juice out of a brandy snifter. Like, it was just so weird.
Yeah, that commercial left an impression on us because, like, the girl in there is looking for Brandon, which is my name, and then he responds and says something like, I don't know, Jessica, and then that's my wife's name, and we just looked at each other and we're like, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh, that's creepy as hell. Oh.
Yeah, so I'm going to be Anthony Hopkins is what I took away from that.
So right now, the way that you describe that, TJ, about Anthony Hopkins makes me horrified of your internet history. That's
I kid you not. Today I Googled the thing. I've never been sadder that I had to Google something than today. I Googled the lyrics to Lil Jon's Shots. So that's something that's in my internet history now forever. And I've Googled some fucked up shit.
Like A4M or A2M, or Two Girls, One Cup. well, actually, I've got a bit for that later. Hold on. Actually, that does get into the next segment I have. Is Philly destroying their own city? So I think we covered the game.
Yeah. You knew that was coming.
That's right. If we're talking about eating shit, I mean, or two girls, one cup, we're going to talk about Philly destroying their own city. What was your favorite moment from that?
Yeah, I guess I don't understand any of this. Destroy where we live because we won mentality for any, and it happens after team wins whatever championship.
Well, there's also it happens when a team loses. If you remember Vancouver in 2011, they rioted, kind of like Philly in a way. Like there was damage, rioting, riot cops.
Yeah, at least that makes sense because you're angry. The other one is joy that turns into anger, which I think is far more.
Well, that's Philly, though, man. We all knew they were going to riot.
Right.
We're when they're lose.
Right. That's called Friday, like a normal Sunday afternoon, actually, in Philly. They're just rioting all the time. And now we have a reason. Great.
Now you got people on my Twitter feed saying, yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal. We only had a few broken buildings and a broken awning and some down street lights. Like, it was just a minor, like, occurrence. Like, yeah, that happens. That's Thursday for us, man. No big deal. Like, really?
I don't understand the guy who was drinking out of the fucking toilet plunger.
I didn't understand any of them.
What? Hold on. Wait, Philly man drinks out of toilet drinks?
Yeah, he drank like beer out of a fucking toilet plunger. And and it's not a brand new toilet plunger, by the way.
Yes, here we go.
But it's just like
oh god.
Oh no.
So
I bet that guy is sick as a dog right now.
I would hope so.
That's what I was thinking. It's like that dude is.
I mean, it kind of looks like a chalice, though. I would drink poop.
Rented toilet water out of a plunger for $100.
Oh, that's not even the right one.
That's
so
not.
Multiple people.
Here, I got the guy eating horse crap, though. This is my favorite.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Why would somebody do that to celebrate?
Why would somebody
my team
do
won the
that,
big game.
period?
Time to eat some horse shit, just like I said I would do. I live up to my word. Because that's just what the fucking bros do, bro.
That's right.
You know what I'm really disappointed in? EDP did not streak naked. I am angry about that. Shit.
Yeah, his video after was really weird. Even for him.
So what did he have? Like some existential moment? Like
something? It was about it was like titled something like "Swallow My Load, New England," and then
I need to see that.
Phone down and was pretending to jack off next to the side of it, and then went to get some like Kleenexes to clean up his load, and the whole time he's just talking about how New England can swallow his load.
He's such a legend. We've got to get him on this show somehow. Like, somebody work that angle so that we can get EDP on here. Do it. Use your connection. Use that blue check mark, TJ. Use it.
I absolutely will. Brandon showed me this dude a couple of weeks ago. This guy is amazing.
He is.
Has he been on this show before?
No, actually, Stark Raving Sports, SRS Mike, they did a video about him. It was narrated by this British cat, Reg, and it was epic. It was just like EDP, he manifests greatness, and like it was just, and EDP saw it and was like, "Oh, dude, that's amazing." So they got like a DM from him, and then Twitter shut down his account, and they could never respond. So.
I've never seen anybody so angry that they just received a bouquet of flowers.
Yeah.
I've never seen somebody so angry for chucking a bottle of Vaseline. Holy shit.
I've never seen
someone just wants his Vaseline.
I've never seen someone openly admit that he like broke his dick beating it off. Like that's, I mean, I do that all the time. I just don't tell people about it. It's like peeing in the shower. But Speaking
Eagles
of that,
fan, not gay, heavy masturbator.
All right, let's break real quick. We got two super chats. Hayden Dale says for $5, loving the Mormon look. I guess he's referring to me here. I guess I don't have that special underwear on. Actually, TJ, are you Mormon? Do I have to clear this?
I am not.
Okay.
I am not.
Okay.
But I do love Orlando. If that's any context.
Are they from Salt Lake mostly? B4U Love Shine, $2. Rams are visiting Pitt and Denver in 2018. Wow. What do you think about that? He's basically saying that the Rams are going to come into y'all guys' house and beat the shit out of you. That's what he's saying.
With the D the Steelers have, I can see it. Especially if they don't get Shazier back. Or if they don't deal with anything in free agency, they're in trouble. Especially on D.
What do you think?
Yeah, well, the Broncos don't have a quarterback yet. So at this point, I would not feel good about this game.
Yeah,
Brandon, Broncos are going to lose, 10 games at least next year?
You wait till they get a fucking quarterback, TJ. Just wait.
You wait till I suck off Kirk Cousins in a bathroom and he fucking believes in Denver. All right, we got two more here. Stuart Gazda, $5. Thoughts on Lions getting Patricia? Also, if the Coyotes were to move, where would they go? Love you guys in this stream. Thank you, Stuart. I think he loves me specifically, and then you guys a little less. But I do love the Lions picking up Patricia, even though I don't think he's ever talked. Like, I think he is one of those. He's like deaf mute, and he just communicates with hand signals. And also, I think the Yotes should move out to the middle of the desert and die of heat exposure. That's what.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wow.
Come on, they should just move. Oh, go ahead, man.
Go to the Coyotes.
That's what? You cut out a little bit.
I was just gonna say that I like the Matt Patricia hiring in Detroit. Oh, I made a fucking video about McDaniels.
You did that
betting
already?
that he was going to. Yeah, I was betting he was going to be more successful than Matt Patricia, because when you look at Patricia, Romeo Crennel, Charlie Weiss, and Eric Mangini, when they left the Patriots, they were all very, very overweight. And the only one who wasn't was Josh McDaniels doing it for the second time. And I said, this has got to be the difference. And now that can't even be true. But I think Patricia's a good coach, and he has a decent quarterback. So
he also has a pretty name.
Yeah, and I think free agency-wise, they're like two biggest defenders that they Ziggy Ansah and Tahir Whitehead. So they're not in a terrible position.
I would love to see fat Josh McDaniels now.
Yeah.
I want to see him gain 150 pounds.
Like Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm not fat, I'm just accumulating mass. That's all.
Yes, it's exactly what Josh McDaniels would say.
I would love to see Josh McDaniels.
And for a role, for a season of television.
All right, last one here. Don't Feed Phil, $5. So where is Nick Foles going next year? P.S. Thanks, Tree, for picking the Patriots. Where is Nick Foles going next year? That is a great question, DFP, which stands for Don't Feed Phil.
Technically, he could go somewhere this year.
What do you mean?
Yes.
To Disney World? That's where he's going this year. He's the Super Bowl MVP.
This is the 2018 season.
Yeah.
Here, like in 2019 when he becomes a free agent, or is he saying somebody's going to trade for him?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, do the Eagles need him? I guess, are they banking on Wentz? I guess maybe Wentz, will he be healed by week 1? They're going to need Nick Foles, actually. So they probably don't dump him.
Here is the Eagles are currently going to be $7 million over the salary cap. And they've got a lot of free agents. So I don't know. I mean, that could, I think,
Oh, your internet's not so good. You can't say mine's
get a nice
bad.
premium if you think about it for Foles right now. If they sell high, you can get a really stupid team to throw a lot of assets at him. Say somebody goes to Cleveland, be like, "Hey, you want Nick Foles? Give us a first and a second for him," and they'll be like, "Okay." They probably will do it, no questions asked.
Oh, I think
a terrible trade, but I mean, it's Cleveland, so I wouldn't put it against them. And they need
like Cleveland would have to overpay for Foles probably just because Cleveland sucks. But I think that like the Broncos, for instance, the Broncos could probably get away with trading for Nick Foles for a second and then a conditional second. So if they're like above 500 next year, they don't get another second round pick. They'll get like a sixth or a seventh. But if they are below 500, they get another second, which is the same deal that the Chiefs did with Alex Smith and San Francisco back in 2013. So I think that's probably the realm. It's like a second round pick and then like conditions based off of the assets of the team that's trading for him.
Nah, I think they trade both the 1 and the 4 for Nick Foles. That's what Cleveland does. They're like, fuck it. Let's just mortgage the house. Let's do an RG3 for this motherfucker. Let's do it.
There is some thought that the Cleveland Browns could use both of their top 5 picks on quarterbacks.
If they do that, I'll laugh.
Just wait. In a couple seconds, I'm doing the face palm. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. What are they going to draft? Mayfield and Josh Rosen together, like two pieces of shit.
How can you stop Rosen, Mayfield, and Kaiser? That is why they're going to do it. It is.
Do they get a multi-ball option? That's the question.
I got 2 more here, and then we'll move on. So, guys, if you're on there with the super chats, once I read this last one, we're gonna read the remaining ones at the end of the show. So, Jordan Culberson, bigger snowflake fan base, Tennessee Vols or Pittsburgh Steelers? Oh, another shot at you, Tree. Oh, snowflake.
Well, we are some salty motherfuckers. I'm not gonna lie.
It's got to be Steelers, right?
I would say, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
you
even
guys,
denying it.
You guys didn't.
There have been some salty motherfuckers here for the past.
You didn't take to the airwaves and get your coach fired, though.
Well, that's what Steeler fans do. And Mike Tomlin is overrated, but he ain't getting fired.
Yeah, I know. And lastly, David Benjamin, do the Lions have what it takes to make a Super Bowl run in the near future? They would if they weren't the Lions.
They don't really have anything else besides Stafford. You don't have a running game. Your tight end's spotty. Your wide receivers are inconsistent. You don't really have a D besides Darius Slay. Mm-hmm. So they need some pieces if they're willing to compete.
Yep. Oh, whose kids are in the background? All right. All right. Now let's look at the offseason. That's a great segue now. If you guys Snapchat or Super Chat, Snapchat. Hey, if you guys Super Chat again, we'll read them at the end of the show. Handling the offseason, my dad calls this time the darkness before baseball starts. Like, it really is kind of crappy, the month of February. What do you guys have any plans for this month as we, withdraw from football?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep making videos that people progressively watch less and less and less of until I start to feel really shitty about myself.
And then you just sink down low,
yeah. But then free agency will start and everything will be fine again. And then I'll do the same thing until the draft. And then for me, the dark period is between fucking mid-May to... But that's because I also don't watch baseball, hockey, or basketball. So.
Yeah, you just. That's why the XFL is going to fill that gap for you. You're just
Well, I mean, Brandon, you could basically just continue to tweet about football and troll Chiefs fans because that's apparently really easy to do, which I found out today. So you could just troll them.
Why are they so easy to troll?
It doesn't matter. Just mention that Tyreek Hill once punched a pregnant woman, and they just lose their shit.
I saw that exchange on Twitter between you and some salty Chiefs fans. I was like, wow. Like,
he's learned from his mistakes.
I like the fact.
Yeah, so did Greg Hardy. Look how well that turned out.
I like the fact where you, TJ, had to say, like, I am vehemently against violence against women. I'm like, who's pro violence for women? Like, I just love to slap a bitch. What I mean,
right? Well, I mean, sometimes you just gotta put a bitch down. The way I see it.
I didn't like that he hit a woman, but I liked that he hit a baby.
I was fine.
Sometimes you prefer to hit it from behind, maybe not hit it in the face, but maybe slap the booty. I don't know.
Especially
Sexual
if it's on
harassment,
an
but I don't give a
airplane
shit.
and it's crying. That's how you smack a baby. Oh, by the way, guys, you guys want to plug anything?
Somebody was suggesting that Tavon Austin might go to the Chiefs, and somebody said, "Oh, now we'll get to have 2 Tyreek Hills." And my response was, "Oh, you mean Tavon Austin once punched a pregnant woman?" And they just freaked out.
Jeez,
is Joe Mixon available? What?
Right.
Bengals already have that market inefficiency down pat.
That's right.
So be careful.
Got to be
about
rebellion in the script club. You guys want to plug anything real quick? You guys got a minute?
I would like to plug Phantom, and then the hope that we put this show together that Brandon and I are kind of working on a little bit, and maybe UrinatingTree's gonna hop on board with it too. Who knows? I hope, at least. If you do, check it out at facebook.com/watchphantom sometime in the near future.
Yep, I throw my videos on there too. I can also throw some clout for that. So it's just another medium to throw it out. TJ's a good dude. Ari Temkin's a good dude. He runs the site. So I definitely vouch for it.
Me too.
That's right. Here, I just put
too,
the link in the
boys.
chat for
you
everyone to
get
check
back in the
out.
corner, Brandon.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I like how he's like, yeah, and then 5 points. We don't know whether he's good enough to be on Phantom. We'll just we'll continue to evaluate.
Well, they were considering it until you revealed your face. So
Oh, that's the low blow. I feel like a pregnant woman that's just gotten assaulted by Tyreek Hill.
Okay. I think that's what the name Ari went under, Tyreek Hill.
I have learned absolutely nothing from the live chat other than that 5 points has a dumb, bald face.
I knew that. Okay, you should have seen the actual face reveal. It was worse. Like, it was just ugly. You look like shit. Like, yeah.
Why do they hate your face so much? It's a good
pretty
face.
standard face. I don't know.
And thanks, I'm standard. Yeah, not many options on that face, but good chassis. No, I hear more shit from my friends. Like, people call me head like a stop sign, Joe Coy. I did hear a lot of Hines Ward looking motherfucker. That was big. Below the gut kind of things, right there.
Did somebody just say EDP 2020?
Yeah.
I'll get on board with that.
I'll vote for him.
Campaign for that.
The Eagles
I'd love
party.
to see him in debate. All right, let's do something fun here. We're almost at 40 minutes. Let's predict next year's champion without any basis or context. Let's just do it. Let's just do some prospecting here. I don't know what the Vegas.
Do you really want my prediction with this? It's going to go horrifically wrong.
Yeah, do it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Super Bowl 50. Hold on. Let's get the Vegas odds. Who they're putting. New England's at plus 350. Next with the Packers, the Eagles, the Steelers, and the Vikings as the top 5 likely Super Bowl winners. I'm going to call you out. All right. Brandon.
I'm going to say the Houston Texans.
Good call.
What? They have just as good a chance as any of these other assholes.
Right. Whoever
except
said the
Patriots.
Eagles at this point last year, fuck you.
John Watson's coming back. J.J. Watt's coming back. Whitney Merciless is coming back.
All right.
They're all going to get hurt again.
In the Super Bowl when they win.
Dude, we're celebrating.
Who's the Texans' backup? Because that is going to be the next Super Bowl MVP.
Tyler Yates.
Brandon Wheaton.
What?
Brandon Wheaton. Isn't Brandon Wheaton like 40? Wouldn't he be the oldest quarterback to win a Super Bowl?
He would.
Yeah, he was 40 when he came out of college. So
Yeah, well, he played 10 years in the minors and then was like, all right, I got to hang him up and become a football quarterback.
Yeah, usually the older players when they come out of college are Mormons. But he was just like a guy who played baseball for a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the only one that really succeeded was Russell Wilson, right?
Yeah.
That's the only minor league baseball player.
Former minor league baseball player.
Yeah, but he was playing and he played at the same time. He wasn't like Drew Henson or Josh Booty, where they played out of high school and then stopped and then became quarterbacks.
I've always liked that name, Josh. I'm gonna raid your booty. I always loved that name.
Yeah.
Wish he succeeded.
I always like Congressman Dick Sweat. That's
FIFA representative Tokyo Sex Whale. It's my favorite name. It's technically Sex Wale, but I mean Sex Whale just comes off the tongue so much better.
You know what San Diego is, right? Whale's vagina.
I always liked Richard Justice, who is a Major League Baseball writer, and I used to have him on my show. And I started calling him, without his approval, Dick Justice. And he got really mad at me and then just like refused to come on my show ever again.
Oh, you ran somebody off.
Because I called him Dick Justice too many times.
You did a Jim Rome, Chris Edward thing. You just called him a dick to his face.
He is kind of an asshole.
Well,
for being totally honest here.
That's how most journalists are, technically, but who's judging?
Right. All right, TJ, pick your next year's champion.
It's gonna be the New England fucking Patriots, and they're gonna win, and then we're all gonna be sad again, and we're gonna realize that all of this glee that we felt over them losing barely in the Super Bowl was all for naught. It was just temporary. And then we're going to find out that Tom Brady's going to play for like 10 more years because he's fucking Tom Brady.
Because he's a robot with like some cybernetic body, and he said, look, there's no rules against this.
Yeah, this is just a simulation, guys. We're just nothing.
Right.
It's all somebody's.
We've been tweaking the Matrix for the last couple of years, and Brady's Neo.
Yeah, there's a Patriot glitch that they can't fix.
All right, Tree. Let's get your pick in.
Oh, boy. I'm going to go Jacksonville.
Wow.
That's actually a smart pick.
Yeah, I mean, if they get a new quarterback or if Blake Bortles actually lives up to his hype, I think they got a legit shot.
I don't think they make a move on anybody. If Blake Bortles can get you 2 minutes away from the Super Bowl, then Blake Bortles, it's hard to say that he can't.
I think at best he's Alex Smith. He's not a guy that's going to lead you anywhere, though.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
He'll get some help with Allen Robinson coming back, though.
Yeah, like he's great with his mobility. He just doesn't have an arm. It's like strange.
Yeah, it is weird, but I think he can. I don't know. I like Bortles there for some reason. I just like him. And for my pick, I'm going to say the New York Jets. No, I'm just kidding.
Watch the Jets do.
I'm going to get really avant-garde and say that the LA Rams add a couple pieces in free agency and beat the Jaguars.
I can't root for the Rams because of their owner. I'm sorry.
Yeah, fuck you, Kroenke.
Well, he is a piece of shit. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
He is a dick. He's like Eugene Melnick, just a dick that wants to steal people's money and use it for his own personal.
He runs half of this city. That's why TJ and I aren't saying anything, because we will be executed.
Well, guess what? I mean, he'll probably send his death squads for me. I don't give a shit.
Oh, you're in Pittsburgh. He doesn't care. We're in Denver, where he owns the Nuggets and the Avalanche and their TV station.
What?
He knows everything about us.
His son runs those teams, not Stan.
Well, he owns them.
That's right. Hank
Does anybody else think that Stan Kroenke looks like Bernie from Weekend at Bernie's every time he goes to a sporting event?
Here, let's
like a classier version.
He looks like I don't know how to really describe, but it's like 70s chic, and he looks high on something because he's always wearing sunglasses.
Yeah, he is. Look at this picture. Look, here he is. He's dead. Like, that is a corpse. Don't tell me that is not a corpse right there. You guys, it's late, but
it looks like a dude with a hairpiece. That's really all it is. Like that hairpiece is like a sentient being all its own. I feel like it's just gonna, like, once he dies, like, it turns into a little helicopter and just lands on his son's head and assumes his greed and power.
And then there's a little rat, like in Ratatouille, that's controlling him with his hands, like, now you must run the franchise. All right, last segment here. Let's talk about our individual teams. What do they do in the off season? Tree, what does Steelers do?
Steelers. Personally, I wouldn't sign Le'Veon Bell, and it's not because of the head case thing, and it's not because of any sport I have towards him. It's because of cap space. If you're investing 15, 16, 17 million on a running back for multiple years, you're going to be losing a lot of flexibility, and you're going to be losing a lot of depth. I mean, it's going to hurt you the year after because you're not going to be able to sign, like, a couple key defensive guys or a couple, like, linemen as well. You're going to be just slammed up against the cap so much that you won't have any wiggle room. And if he regresses, you're in deep trouble. But that's just my take. And I mean, they're kind of slammed up against it right now. They're going to have to cut a few people.
Yeah. I think your big problem is if Shazier doesn't come back, like, that ruins your entire defensive scheme. Totally, and it shows. He was such a big part in the middle, and him not being there is gonna fuck you.
Meh.
Brandon, what do the Broncos do?
I was going to see how long we could just let it be silent. The Broncos got to do a lot of things. They got to find a quarterback. They got to do that. They might have to free up some salary cap space. Likely targets there are Emmanuel Sanders, Aqib Talib, possible restructure for DT. Add another offensive lineman. Honestly, they can't add enough offensive linemen. Two things, and then add maybe another skill player. And then if they get rid of Talib, add a corner. They'll be number one again. Those things.
The number one what?
And they have to pray that Vance Joseph isn't a terrible coach.
There's diversity.
If they do all of those things, then they will be number one, TJ, and you know exactly what that means. The fucking best.
Number one.
They will be number one.
Oh, you'll be number one.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Brandon. I also think that they need somebody to be a man in John Elway's presence and tell him to shut the fuck up and listen to some people who know what they're talking about.
I'm willing to be that guy.
Well, I mean, like, the alternative is that he will have you killed. Like, if it doesn't work and he doesn't listen, you'll just get killed.
He'll just turn into a horse and trample you. That's what I see happening.
Yeah, before you love Shine says
horseshit.
Yeah, he says the Brandon, the Broncos need to bring back Tim Tebow.
I swear to God, if people don't stop saying that, fucking mine.
They still go on about Tim Tebow.
In my life, and people still want him here. You could play good for 3 minutes at the end of the game. Other than that, he was the hardest quarterback to watch play the position.
He was tough. Yeah, the Mets need him in right field.
But in games or what?
All right, I guess. Hold on. Wait a second. Oh, I got like 10 seconds of silence right there, Brandon. I beat you. Ha. All right, here's what the Giants need to do. This is sad, but they need to draft a quarterback at number 2. It's time to think for the future, and I think that's what they'll do. Even though they need a left tackle that actually has a pulse. Eric Flowers needs to be put down. Like, he needs to have a giant bag put over his head and just, put away in storage or something. And they just have so many problems. And it's just funny, though. What was the Eagles' record last year?
7-9.
What was it?
7-9.
They were 7-9, and then they win a Super Bowl the following year. So if we were 3-13, we can be 8-8 maybe next year. Hey,
the St. Louis Rams went from 3-13 to Super Bowl champions as well, so it is doable. You just need, a Hall of Fame quarterback to fall into your lap.
And Orlando Pace was a big part of that. And they drafted him, I think, with the 4th pick in the draft prior? Or he was a high draft pick. And it
was number 1, I think.
Yeah, he was number 1 overall.
Yep, number 1. He was number 1. They got Marshall Faulk, Isaac Bruce. They got Torrey Holt the year after, I think.
A good haul.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they built a squad.
That is a good haul, guys.
That was.
Greatest show on turf. That's how you make it.
Don't feed
now, only
Phil.
imagine if they had the bus, too, and they didn't throw him out of town.
Wow.
Don't Feed Phil says for $2, Denver's going 6-10. Stop trying to hide it. Ooh, fighting words.
Well, if Vance Joseph's still there, I can see it. But...
We ain't hiding shit. We just don't know who our fucking quarterback is yet.
There's nothing to hide.
Barely.
We will trade you a captain fat fuck for your first-round picks for the next 5 years.
Brandon is absolutely right. You can't hide nothing. And that's what the Broncos
I want to see Brandon sign up for Kirk Cousins' football camp and just be like, hey, buddy.
I would love to.
Weed's legal in Denver.
I think he would be a little surprised at how well I can throw a fucking football.
Yeah. If you shaved the beard, would he believe that you were like a teenager?
No, but I thought that would be a funny video if I did shave my beard and trained with a quarterback coach, and then to try to see if I could fake a high school football coach into trying to recruit me. Because I'm a little man, like I'm 5'7", so if I shave my beard, I think I can maybe pull off looking like I'm in high school. So.
I know a coach that would have been interested in you. I think his name was Jerry Sandusky. I think he would have been.
Oh,
I went there. Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot about this, and I'll just wrap this show up with this.
I hope it's not a Jerry Sandusky story.
It's not. It's worse. I just realized like how awful of a person was. So obviously you guys were rooting for the Eagles, the Denver fans, and then Tree and I were both rooting for the Well, I don't know. We just recognize how cancerous the Eagles fan base is. But it's kind of fitting. I have a good buddy that is recovering from cancer. That's an Eagles fan, and that's why I picked the Eagles, because I knew that they were going to win for him. But at the same time, I didn't want them to win because I'm a terrible, terrible fucking person. Like I was I guess, and I'm gonna use this in a video that I have coming out. That's a nice segue that we talked about it. Like, I believe that Philadelphia reached the quota for enough like grandmas that have cancer. Like they finally tipped, so that God was like, all right, I'll give you a championship. Like this year you had a record number of grandmas with cancer or something. And I'm just going to gift you this one championship this year. like there's like the karmic universe finally fell on Philadelphia and they brought it home. But all jokes aside, I am very happy for my buddy John, who's working through, who's recovering from a pretty nasty thing he's got going on. But I just knew that this time God was on their side. So congratulations to the Eagles fans. It's gonna be an insufferable fucking offseason too. Like my buddy Steve on Facebook today just was like, I just want to remind you that the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. I'm like, really, Dick? Come on. He's gonna do that shit in mid-June too. I know it, and I'm just like,
if they don't burn down their city in the victory parade, I will be incredibly disappointed.
I will be.
Is that tomorrow?
Thursday, I think.
I hear that it's gonna be like 5 to 6 million people. Like people are flying in from like Norway to attend this shit, and I'm like.
There better be like if they just create the purge for that event, I'll be cool with it. Like the Purge Eagles edition. They would literally, I think they would all kill each other in about 10 minutes.
I would love it if it was Rick and Morty's version of the Purge too, where it was just ultra violent. Like, all right, parting shots, guys. Brandon, you got anything to say on your way out? Anything to plug besides your anus?
Just my YouTube channel. That's Good Sports. I'm trying to catch up to 5 points in UrinatingTree. So if you want to go there and help me, that would be really, really nice.
Oh, you'll get to 100,000 someday. Hold on, let me let Fly.
Wait, I have a question. When did you guys start?
Start what?
Making videos on YouTube.
Tree, you want to give him your story first?
Me personally?
Yeah, your YouTube story.
What'd you say?
Give me a sec.
I can't hear you. What? TJ's students are in the background.
What's that? Say again? Sorry, you guys cut out there for a second.
No, I was like, your students are in the background. Are we not supposed to talk about that? Okay. Stream health. No, so I started in 2013, Brandon, on YouTube, and originally I wanted to be make Madden videos because I was so competitive with John Madden football that I bought a capture card to break down film of my own Madden. So like I was filming my games and like going back and like being like a mini Matt Patrician and installing offenses. And then I Googled like, how do I stop a screen pass in Madden? And then I saw this guy, like his name was Golden Sports, and I was like, "What? You can put these videos online and talk to them?" And I was terrible for like 2 years, and then last year I was like, "What if I really just actually made a real video versus this stupid video game shit?" And a couple of them like took off. So really, I would say I've been a real YouTuber for the last 18 months, but I've been on for 5 years. Tree? I don't know what happened to Tree. I guess he's getting blown again on stream. Yeah. Like,
good for him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Us married guys are like, yeah. Wouldn't that be nice? All right.
Yeah, you guys are way ahead of me, man. Like I've been a prisoner of the actual industry for the last almost decade now. Gosh, I was doing a radio show in Fayetteville, Arkansas, like 8 years ago. I just started doing videos on YouTube and Facebook for Phantom. Basically, it maybe, gosh, it would have been like November was I think when the first, maybe not even maybe October was the first video we did. I tried to do a video like a year ago on Andy Reid and how shitty his time management is. And I was working for a radio station in Kansas City at the time, and we were partners with the Chiefs. So when the Chiefs saw the video, they were not very happy and made me take it down and threatened all kinds of like legal stuff. And so, yeah, definitely the establishment not happy with people trying to make jokes about them in any way, shape, or form.
That's crazy. That's all we and Tree do. We just shit all over teams. Like we take
I don't think they like me all that much.
Yeah, we take oat-filled, horse-filled dumps on teams, and that's like what we do. I can't believe that. Like, I guess because you're like a name, right, TJ? Like, or you're actually in the industry. They don't like it when you talk shit, huh?
Yeah, they don't. I don't think they like talking shit, especially when you're supposed to be partners with them, or they feel like there's some sort of legitimacy to you. Like, I guess they don't care if fans do it. But Like that's the problem, though, is that fans want to hear people talk about sports the way that they feel about sports, and not in this like very official hoity-toity kind of way that Sports Talk Radio and ESPN and all that shit has started to go. So I think they like that because they can control that. They can't control fuckers on the internet calling them idiots for not running the clock right or throwing that stupid pass at the goal line in the Super Bowl. Like they can't control that, and they don't like anything they can't control. So
that's why
the bigger you get, the bigger of a problem that's going to be for you and any teams that end up watching your shit.
Then let them come. That's the way I see it.
Uh-huh.
I know it's going to come for me someday. So whatever.
So what? Tree earlier, Brandon asked like, "What's your origin story with YouTube?"
My origin story actually goes back a while. I know. Jeez, let's say I started a long time ago, like back in the Stone Age, I would say.
I actually found your ice hockey review.
I made that bound back in like 2007, I think. Jeez, like it's been a long time.
I think really
all you need to know is I've been around a while. I mean, I'll get into detail with it later, but Jesus, it's been a while.
I think really what you need to know, and I think you've been on for a while, is there is no such thing as overnight success on YouTube. It just doesn't. I mean, the growth from 10,000 to 100,000 happens, but to get to that 10,000, what is it? Anthony Jeselnik said it's the first million that's the hardest. Who said that? Hitler?
To quote Hitler, the first million is the hardest.
Yes.
Jesus Christ. I thought that was Chairman Mao.
Yeah. All right, we got one more super chat, and then I'm gonna let Fly Latore. 10
million is a statistic.
I'm gonna let Fly Latore jump in real quick. Disney acquires X-Men F4 films plus Fox RSN. Thoughts from Before You Love Shine. I don't know. I liked how they bought Marvel. Oop.
Who bought more? Wait, who bought Marvel?
Wait. You gotta wait. Did anybody have any thoughts on Disney acquiring them?
Disney acquired who now?
All right, Fly Latore, you got 30 seconds. Fly Latore is a sponsor. This is what the sponsors get. They get to say one thing before I cut off the stream.
Knicks make me want to die.
Who makes you want to die?
The Knicks.
The Knicks?
Well, that's the Knicks.
Oh, the Knicks
pretty
are
good
terrible.
at that shit.
Here, let me unmute MD Transplant. Usually when we have more people, we let people jump in the pool. Here. MD Transplant doesn't have a mic. All right. Thanks, everyone.
I had some hope.
For showing up.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Glad you stopped by, kids.
All right. Thanks. I'm going to shut off the stream. Thanks, Fly Latore.
Okay, I love you.
Yeah, hey, thanks for having me on, guys. This was great.
Thanks, TJ.
Thanks, guys.
Who wants to come back next week? Anybody?
I would love to be back next week. This was a lot of fun.
All right. I'm going to trap him. I got like a pussy. I'm trapping you. All right. Anyway.
It's a Venus flytrap. Quick, TJ, run.
All right. Signing off.
Zoom you like he did.